Yo, what's going on, guys? So like I said, new week, new unit, K is out. So I just wanted to make this short video now that she's out and go over some things. Firstly, briefly go over what she does. Secondly, go over the teams that I tested. Thirdly, I want to see how she performed. Fourth, I'll give some recommendations on the investment. And lastly, my thoughts on the unit. Alright, let's get going. But before that, let's pull her. Alright, when firing last bullet, gains crit rate up to 100 stacks, starts at 29 stacks, pellets land critical hit, does damage, removes when full burst ends, then skill 2 activates when tilted skill activates, so when the skill 1 activates, removes, or rather reduces the max ammunition of all allies. Similar effects cannot stack, so privity will not work, attack damage, and then removes it after full burst ends. Now when she bursts affects self, she switches to a shotgun, does damage, pellet count is 10, duration 10 seconds, obviously attack up, attack damage up. Alright. So now for the teams. First off we got Toph, Leona, K, Summer and Naga. Obviously I'm gonna use Summer because she synergizes well with K. She doesn't want any max ammo, and K cuts the ammo in half. So we got this team. Then we got K and Isabel with Arcana. Just want to see how that will work since both of these units are new. See if there is something there. And then lastly for the Toph and Leona combo, we got Naga and Bunny Soda. Alright. Now for the second team archetype, we got the Maid duo with Mast and Anchor. We got K and Summer Anise. We got Toph. Now I also wanted to see how this team will do with Dorothy. Obviously Toph doesn't buff them, but Dorothy does a lot of damage herself. So we'll see how this does as well. And since these days we don't really get much use out of Dorothy, this might be a viable team for her to be in. Unless you're using her somewhere else because you don't have other units. But if you do have other units and she's not being used, this might be a good team to be placed in. So here are the results for the teams that I stated previously. So we have the Toph and Leona teams right here. We have K and Summer Anise with Naga, classic, 874 million. Then we have Maid Privity, 975, so did a little bit more, a little bit better than K. Then we have Isabel and Arcana, not doing it, as previously stated when I was talking about Arcana. Doesn't work for K either. Then we have K and Soda. It's a little worse still. Then we have this team just to test. A little bit worse than K and Summer Anise. So this is the best composition for this archetype. Then we have the second archetype with Maid and or the Maid duo, Maid Mast and Maid Anchor. We have Toph, K, Summer Anise doing 1.177 billion damage. Then we have Maid Privity doing a little bit more. However, when you switch to Dorothy over here, you can see that obviously Toph is buffing these two units right here, but Dorothy does just a lot of damage herself, so overall damage is better. And like I said before, we don't have a lot of use for Dorothy these days, so this might be a viable composition. So if that's the case, this is actually a pretty decent team right here. Now these are unrelated to K, but I just wanted to include them just to make a comparison. And so here we have SBS Alice with the Maid duo with leader doing 1.6 billion. Then we have the meta shotgun team for fire weak teams with Drake Treasure 1.7 billion, right? So take that as you will for to analyze her performance. Now for the investments. If you are going to pull K and build her, so if you're planning to use her in this team right here, Toph and Leona, she already gets a lot of crit rate from these two units. So what I would recommend is a 477 or a 777 for the skills. Skill 1, skill 2, and burst skill, right? Also, for mast and anchor, they also give a lot of crit rate. So I would also recommend 477 or 777. And if you're using with Dorothy, I would lean more towards 777. However, I'm pretty sure she'll also work with 4 for skill 1, because she doesn't need that much crit rate. You can only get to 100 crit rate, right? So that's my recommendation for the skills. For her overload, you want attack, you want elemental damage, hit rate maybe, and maybe crit damage, because she has a lot of crit rate, so she can utilize crit damage quite well. And lastly, what do I think about Kay? Well, she's basically got only a single team that she's good in, and so she's very niche. She doesn't fit into a lot of teams. The teams that I even talked about, she's not really that good in. There's better units that fill the same role. And so I think this was gonna be like an A to S tier rank unit. Definitely not a must pull. And so I would just put her on the wish list, especially with the Stellar Blade collaboration being right around the corner. So yeah, let me know if you're gonna pull her anyway. And that's about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.